Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2012. Let's jump right into the charts here. You're going to see the S&P 500 E-mini futures are trading lower by about 3 points this morning. Once again, futures look like they topped out right around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Have come down pretty decently. We've gotten a little bit of a bounce, but nonetheless, futures are still down about 3.5, 3.25 points. Right to around that 1409 level. One thing I want to show you is the US dollar index, because this is what we have to watch for each and every day. The dollar is stronger before the opening bell. However, often around 9 o'clock, 9:30, right when the opening bell rings, the dollar will start to fade. Take a look at yesterday's action. You'll see that the US dollar index was up sharply higher, I should say, before the opening bell. And then right as the opening bell rang, the dollar starts to fall, and that gives the market cause to go higher. So watch how the dollar falls generally after the market begins trading at 9:30 a.m. We see this each and every day. This is what traders should watch out for. If that happens again, you look for more of a bounce in this market. That's basically the bottom line. It looks like whoever it is, powers that be, get the dollar up before the opening bell. Once the opening bell rings, they decline the dollar, and the whole entire stock market inflates, and everything rallies up off the lows. Stocks that are already up, they do even better. Stocks that were down or commodities, they start to catch a bid. Now, here's the problem going on right now when you do this too much. The problem is gasoline. Gasoline prices are the problem. If you take a look at a daily chart of gasoline, this is where it really becomes problematic, because gasoline prices are now $4 at the pump really across the entire nation. If you're in California or certain parts of the Midwest, you're paying well over $4 a gallon for regular unleaded gasoline. This is where the inflation rally that they're doing is causing a problem. However, it still continues to happen each and every day, and price action is king. So that's what you got to watch out for. Let me flip back to the US dollar index chart and just watch and see if the dollar starts to sell off once the opening bell rings. Dollar goes down, the market will go higher. If I flip back to that daily chart, you'll see here how the dollar has really been plummeting over the past couple of weeks. As the dollar goes lower, each and every day starts out strong, and it fades. Notice these red bars. They're showing you the dollar is initially strong, and then it sells off. Strong, sells off. Starts strong, sells off. And you see the same deal pretty much, all the way down. So that's what we're looking at. If the dollar fades from the open, it's starting to fade a little bit now. That will help boost the market. You could probably take a look at the futures right now, and you'll see that they're starting to move up. And sure enough, look at that. Dollar starts to come in. Futures start to take off to the upside. It's all about the dollar. Dollar is the dominating force in this market. And we'll see if the dollar remains weak, markets will trade higher. That's the bottom line. All right, let's talk about a few other things out there today. One, we're going to talk about gold. First, we're going to talk about gold here. You see the GLD this morning is trading a little bit lower. Gold is down about 5 points, spot gold that is. So we're trading right at 162.55. GLD yesterday closed at 162.94. Spot gold is down 5 points to 16.75 per ounce. So a little bit of a down move on the back of a stronger dollar. However, if the dollar fades, expect gold to catch a bid, and that's what will happen. You even see gold right here. As the dollar just caught a little bit, started to sell off, gold is getting a little bit of a bid. Same goes for silver. Silver is just really, in my opinion, a cheaper way to play gold right now. And then you have oil, which is really the big culprit here. USO sitting right at 39.79, closed at $40.03. So oil is trading down this morning ahead of the opening bell. Spot crude, light sweet crude, that's West Texas crude, that is down 72 cents to 104.51 a barrel at the moment. But if the dollar starts to fall, traders should expect crude to trade higher, just like it did yesterday. See yesterday's action. Crude started the day all the way down here, USO, and then it rallied all the way up throughout the session as the dollar fell. So again, the dollar is really the dictator here. It'll tell you everything you need to know. You can forget all the news out of Europe and everywhere else. Italian bond yields are starting to spike higher. Portuguese debt is starting to spike higher. Spanish debt yields are starting to spike higher, but nobody cares. All people care about is what is the dollar doing. That is the final arbiter at the moment. All right, let's take a look at a few other things that I have written down here. I want to look at Ford today. Ford had some news before the opening bell this morning. Got a nice little spike. The stock has come down. I don't really see anything great for Ford. The high range on the trade is $13. The low range on the trade is going to be all the way back down to $12.10. So that's the range Ford is in right now. It's sitting right at 1270. If the markets hold up, Ford will catch a bid, but I just don't see it getting past the 1310 level at the moment. Okay, let's take a look at General Motors. They also came out with sales numbers today as well. Stock's trading at 26.77. I don't see anything great or terrible one way or the other. Right now, basically it has upside if it rallies to around the 27.85 to $28 level. On the downside, if it comes down, it has a ton of support around 24.40. Really, that's all I'm seeing there. I'm not really seeing anything great or terrible. Nothing telling us what kind of trade this is. But right now, the trend is up on GM, and we'll give it a little bit of an upside bias at the moment. But there's nothing I would do here this morning. Let's take a look at Urban Outfitters. Ticker symbol URBN. Stock is trading up to $30.51. I can't make too much out of it. I will say this though, it's in an uptrend. It's not a great gap up or a terrible gap up. The stock could make a little bit more of a move. I have a hard time seeing it get through $31 though, so watch for a little resistance there. But it could. The gap is more of a neutral gap, if I could call it that way. Really nothing that terrific or that horrible. So I guess you're going to have some resistance at 31 and then all the way up to 32. I don't even think there's a trade on that Urban Outfitters. Here's another stock that is gapping up this morning. It's called CVI. The ticker symbol is CVI. This is an energy corp. It looks like Carl Icahn is making a bid for it. Stock's popping this morning right around the $29 level. Did almost get to 30. It does have upside, and the gap on this one is not all that great. But the stock has upside probably to around the 30 level, and then you're going to look at 31 and then ultimately 32. There could be pullbacks in there. But again, read that news. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is there, but I did see with some Carl Icahn involvement, and that's always good for at least a bounce. So we'll see how it is here today. Again, there's not that much out there. Looking at gap ups and gap downs this morning, I wish there were. But there's not really all that much out there. Market's a little bit underwater, trading down about 2 points on the futures. Again, watch that U.S. dollar index very, very closely. The dollar will tell you everything you need to know. If the dollar starts to fall, the markets will catch a bid and trade higher. That is the bottom line these days. And usually the dollar will dip once the opening bell rings. So be aware of that. If the dollar doesn't fall, these markets will start to sell off further. But we really haven't seen that in months. So you have to be prepared for the dollar to fall and the markets to inflate. With that said, everybody, have a great trading day. I'll see you all on the charts, and we'll do this all over again tomorrow. Take care now.